Awesome. Well, hello and welcome, SuccessGrid Nation, to this episode of the SuccessGrid podcast with Rosso Talib. In this episode, we are going to be talking about how to use the power of your mind and the AI to achieve your dreams. So, joining me in this episode, a global thought leader who has been in AI for 15 years and has 4 patents in AI. He served clients like Microsoft, IBM, Pearson Education, and more, reducing 500 million in value for them. His work has impacted over 10 million lives and has been mentioned by the likes of President Obama and Bill Gates. Manoj Agrawal, welcome to the Success Secret podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Awesome to have you here. So first of all, Manoj, because this is the Success Secret podcast, and you had lots going on into your life with AI and businesses, and you work with one of the biggest corporations in the world. What do you think success is, and what do you see other people has misconceptions about it?
See, I think success is different for everyone. Everybody's definition should be very personal. A lot of people think it is about the amount of money you make, but it's more about I think what kind of experience you want in your life and understanding how to get there. A lot of people don't like, even if they make a lot of money, they don't even know what to do with it or what exactly they want, right? So it's a very personal question. So I when I work with people, and they ask me, this similar question, then I help them figure out what success, the criteria of success is true for them.
That's very important. Yeah, it's not just about the monetary or money all the time, always people connecting that to money. So it has multiple angles and multiple perspective. And how do you define success for yourself? So Manoj, first thing is like, I want to hear a little bit about your story. I want the Success Nation to know a little about your story. You had worked for like $2 per day back in the day, I guess, and now you are into AI, developed multiple companies, or you have 4 patents in AI, and we work with big corporations. So how did that happen? What from that point to this point right now?
You know, the way that it happened was, a lot of small decisions made again and again consistently. So first of all, uh, I had to figure out what is the valuable skill that I can learn that can help me elevate my value. And that turned out to be computers and programming and software. And then also, once you learn a skill, how do you keep improving and learning more and more? So, because in every field, it's always changing, it is always improving. So, you always have to keep learning and improving yourself. And so, that is the idea, to keep playing with new technologies. So in our case, in the world of software, new types of technologies come every 5 to 10 years. Cloud computing came, that smartphone came, then blockchain came, uh, then now AI is in full force. So if you stay at the cutting edge, then you continue to stay ahead of others, and then you can see, okay, what do you want to do with these skills, like what kind of impact you want to make. So we always try to make impact on large number of people. So we have done a lot of work in education, in healthcare. So those type of industries help us create larger impact. So when you do these things again and again over a long period of time, then it pays off.
Yeah, definitely. That's very important. Like you mentioned, skills, and sometimes this kind of thing is forgotten. In order to help people out, you have to have some kind of skill and maybe also passions, especially to solve these problems that that people have. Maybe they know about them, maybe they don't know about them. So you should educate them about that, and they will have the solution ready for them whenever they are ready to buy, for example, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So now AI is a big topic, like you mentioned. It's a lot of people now talking about how AI can impact and force people out of their jobs, whether with companies or like a lot of people in marketing, especially what they call copywriters, that write messages, email letters, and these kind of things, because it's now easy. You write like a sentence and everything is generated for you. So how would you say AI in general from your own perspective, because you are an insider of an insider, I would say, right? So do you think AI will help humanity in general, or is it something bad for us?
See, every technology that is invented is generally made for the good of humanity. Now, a lot of people use the same technology and use it for bad things, but that doesn't mean that majority is not good, right? So, just like like take for example a car. You can use the car for good purposes. You can travel with it, or you can hit somebody and kill somebody with it, right? So same thing with AI. Like, yeah, it can be weaponized. It can be used in many wrong ways, but by and large, it will be helpful. In fact, if you look around, AI has been around already for last 10, 15 years. Our world is already uh, impacted and very much influenced by AI already. So it has brought so many good things, in the sense that even this communication that we are having, this conversation, this recording, we are streaming live, all of that is being done through AI right now.
Yeah.
So, if we look around, we will see that it is already creating a lot of good things.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. Maybe if you look at it in a negative way, maybe there are certain jobs that can be replaced, because as we know, revolution of things, that we were in the agricultural revolution, then the industrial revolution, when we have certain machines doing the people's work, especially in auto car mobiles and factories and these kind of things, the factory workers got a little bit, but at the same time you needed some kind of engineers to develop a new concept for the cars, how they look, what they do, their function, improve their functions. So it may be impact certain areas and will not have it anymore, but at the same time we will have different areas that will have a potential for growth.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how now when we say AI, we sometimes relate that to the power of the human mind, right? So do you think that AI is more powerful than the human mind, or vice versa?
See, there are two aspects to the human mind. One is the logical and one is the emotional part, right? So logical part is the part where we do all the mathematics and equations and all the science related stuff. And that, I believe, AI is going to be definitely more powerful than human mind. There is no question about that. But the emotional part of the human mind, I don't think that will be more powerful in the machine. That will be, generally stay uh, in the human realm. Like, I don't think you can truly teach emotions to a machine.
No. Exactly. Yeah, I think that's going to be very hard. Like some movies, I don't know, forgot certain movies, but certain movies that showed certain like robots or these kind of things that showed emotions or cried or whatever. But I think that's very hard, because there is some kind of creator that created the humans, which is something that we humans, I don't think will we reach that level. So
Exactly.
a
Exactly.
different level of complexity, I guess.
Yes.
Yes. So now in AI and in business and using our mind and these kind of things, and to be successful in the AI field and these kind of things, how did you build these businesses? Did you build them yourself, or did you have, let's say, some people around you that actually helped you along the way to reach where you are now?
So, first of all, we are, my company is a consulting company. We help our clients build their businesses, their technology, and their products. So, all these names and everything that you said earlier, these are our clients who came to us to ask for our technology expertise. Uh, of course, we have a team. Nothing can be actually achieved by yourself. So, you always have to have teams where they fulfill the complementary skills that one person doesn't have. For example, I have technical skills, but I may not have artistic skills or some other types of skills, and you need other team members on your team to fulfill those type of roles. Otherwise, you are as good as the weakest link, and if you act alone, you are primarily the weakest link.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. So now, what is the story behind you working with like these big companies, Microsoft and IBM, I guess, and more other than these two, for example? How did you lead to this corporation or business venture between two, or how did they start using your business or your company to help them with what they do?
See, people have to realize these large companies are not like a single company. They are amalgamation of very many smaller business units. So the idea is, when you work with these companies, you are working with a particular project, on a particular project or a particular business unit. So they have, say, a specific requirement, and they may not have enough resources on their team, or they may need extra help, or whatever that is. That's when they reach out to external companies, external experts like ourselves, to work with their teams, or help them build whatever technology they want to build. That's how it works, right? So we worked on particular projects for these companies, where our expertise was complementary to their internal resources, and that's how we executed those projects, right?
So that's very important. Like even these big companies, huge mega companies, sometimes they either don't have maybe the resources, or I wouldn't say maybe they don't have the resources, they do, but maybe it's because it's a big subject and a huge matter of things that they need help from outsiders, right? Exactly. So how do you think that any person or an aspiring entrepreneur or a business owner can find certain opportunities in the marketplace to start, let's say, building this company from the ground up, and in the future looking at it and growing it? Because eventually we need certain opportunities to look at, right?
So can you repeat that question? Can you clarify the question?
Yeah. So any entrepreneur or a business owner looking to get in business, they are looking for opportunities. How they can find these opportunities to start in?
See, there are so many ways to answer that question, but what I generally recommend to people is, look at who you are as a person. What are your unique skill sets? So rather than saying what are the opportunities out there, and what I share with people is, there is a Japanese concept called ikigai. Okay, that concept tells you what exactly is your life's purpose. So as an entrepreneur, or as even as a professional, you can use these type of frameworks to figure out what you will excel at, or what is your unique quality, and then start to build a business around that. Okay, that will be a much better option for you, and it will have much higher degree of success, rather than you looking at somebody else and saying, oh, look at this person, he did something in music and he was successful, so I should become a musician. Or this person did something in engineering, so I should become an engineer. That will generally not work as well as you finding your own path.
Exactly. You have to follow your own path and your own passions, especially passions to solve other people's problems, as we mentioned. Because if we are looking at other people's and we are trying to do exactly what they did, they had different things going on in their life, different opportunities, different people around them, certain things that are not similar to the situation wherever you are now. So it might not work as well as you have wished for. So you have to follow your own path for it. Yeah. But the problem is, like now, a lot of people in general, and business owners, entrepreneurs, like we want instant gratification, that we want immediate success. Like you mentioned, ask you earlier about what success is, what means to you. And you answered me that eventually each one should define it for their own self. But the problem is that we want instant gratification, we want instant revenue back, instant profits back, and this is a lot of problem coming in. And this is one of the reasons that actually maybe AI is there to help people with their businesses, for example, but they think because there are tools that are making their job easier a little bit, that will impact their business and make a profit, when it's actually you have to be your own man and have certain systems or certain automations or whatever, and or sales team, if you do the selling or if you don't do the selling yourself, to actually succeed and pursue your mission in life or purpose.
Yes, yes, exactly.
So awesome, yeah. So how do you think that our mind as humans can expand to other opportunities? Like, do you think that, for example, reading books, traveling the world, seeing other people, building our network? Because from my own self, I see a lot of people saying that business is the best business to start this year or next year or whatever. But the basic fundamentals that I see for any business is like to have certain skills, like we mentioned, to have this passion to solve problems, to have the network, and go both ways for who you know and who knows you. And finally, it is about adding value and solving problems to people. And you do that in multiple ways, but mainly by selling what you are offering to people. Maybe they want it now, maybe they want it later, but you have to sell, and this is how you provide value to people. So now, in that regards, how do you see that coming for any person combining these three, and how important it is for anyone to know and grow their network?
Yeah, I mean, everything that you just said is part and parcel of it, right? Like, so the idea is that in this world there are so many problems to be solved, right? So the idea is that if you can find a passion for solving these problems, and then you can demonstrate it by offering help, even free help in some cases, then you will be successful, because that is the definition of an opportunity, that is the definition of business. So the thing is, if you travel more, you get more ideas. If you help other people, you can build more connections, because people appreciate help, and they remember that help, and those things come back to you later on. So as you said, traveling, networking, providing help, all these are components of success and how far you can go.
Yeah, definitely. So do you think that there are certain things that make anyone faster way to achieve their financial wealth? Like, do you think that you are basically in AI? Do you think AI is a good place for anyone, whatever it is that they are doing, to maybe switch to AI because it might be the future, like we are talking about here? Or do you think that they should stay focused in what they are doing, or there's a solution to combine the two things together?
See, there is a yes to everything. Basically, there is nothing in this world that will be untouched by AI. Okay, so there is no choice but to adopt it. Whether you adopt it, the only question is how quickly you adopt it, now or later. So everything will actually be empowered by AI. Whatever you are doing today, it's not like every job will be eliminated. Yes, some jobs will be eliminated, but many of them will stay, and 100% of the work humans we are doing, whether that is cooking, whether that is like cleaning, whether that is building rockets, whatever that is, will be definitely influenced by AI. And people again don't realize it is already being influenced by AI. Like, every even small, if you take out your smartphone, everything on that app, on that device, is controlled by AI. So yeah, everything will be affected by AI. So it's better to start early, but if people want to take their time, that's their choice.
Yeah. So do you think that there are, for any entrepreneur or upcoming entrepreneur or business owner, that there are certain, let's say, tools or resources that they can look into to fasten their company starting out and for its growth. That a lot of businesses like they're dreaming to be like the next millionaire or something like that. So what do you say up to these people?
See, a lot of wealth will be created through AI for sure. So there is no doubt many millionaires and billionaires will be created using AI. But the idea is to use AI to say, okay, what real problems can we solve with this? Because right now a lot of people are using it for, as you said, like writing content and things like that. But that's not really big problem to solve. The big problems could be, okay, what about climate change? What about you know fixing our broken transportation system, food supply system, all of these things, right? We went through pandemic, so healthcare is big, right? So these kind of problems will create a lot of wealth when people find solutions through AI.
Yeah,
Does
that's
that answer your question? Was
yeah,
that
it's
the
like
yeah.
the subject that you are mentioning here is there's a huge difference between having some kind of a website or AI tool to use to generate some kind of a text or a blog post and certain AI that is going to help cities or countries solve
Mhm.
the issue of traffic because there is a lot
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
traffic and then in big cities in almost every country of the world solving
Mhm.
issues with the healthcare systems. And you mentioned a lot of these it's a big difference between that and this. So do you think that AI will actually help countries in general for solving these kind of issues, for example traffic?
Absolutely. Why not? You see, AI is already like Tesla, for example. Take Tesla. They have already been perfecting self-driving systems, right? So I believe I can predict uh, in next 15 to 20 years, uh, many developed countries, I think driving by humans will be made illegal. Every car and truck will be driven by AI.
Wow, this is what you
Okay.
think. Yeah.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I like driving. I don't want a car to drive itself.
No. I think okay. So let's take an example. Just about 50 years ago, people used to take their horse cart on the street, but now it's illegal to take your horse cart in the middle of the street, right?
I think so, maybe.
Yeah. So now there are special places where you can go and take your horse cart if you want, right?
Yeah.
So same thing. Yeah, if you like driving, there will be special places where you can take your car and drive around. But in general, solving traffic problem is going to be done through handing it over to AI to optimize the traffic, right?
Yeah, exactly. But for example, if we're talking about traffic, there is like multiple things that have, like for example, traffic lights and certain other things that might be controlled, like the street, how good it is or bad it is, other situations. So
See
everything
that
will
the
be
thing is,
connected to AI. And there
yeah,
must
yeah,
be some kind
exactly.
of integration between systems because, for example, if we're talking about Tesla, they might have their own system and for example, for the traffic lights, their own system. So this must be, I assume, because it's AI, so they will have certain level of understanding each other, right?
Well, so again, it is not feasible for us to imagine the world it will be because we didn't, there may not be a need for traffic lights
Mm,
because if the machines are like, why are traffic lights there? Because humans need very simple way to understand the rules. But if we replace it with super intelligence, they why do they need traffic light? They can figure out, okay, where I'm going and calculate the
mm.
speed and
Yeah,
all the
so
mechanics.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
exactly, it will be like a car coming after a car and it's barely
Exactly.
millimeters between them. So that would be
Exactly.
that would be very interesting to see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's very, so now what would you say certain let's say books do you think that entrepreneurs should read to develop their knowledge in regards to AI or even resources or?
See, I believe, I come from a background where I did not go to college for a long time, a university for a long time. So I have learned everything on by doing. So my recommendation to people is, yes, you should learn, but more than learn, implement what you learn. So, start using AI in your daily life and start learning about it, learning as in, understanding it. How does it work? What is it doing underneath the covers? Once you get a sense of it, then you can make more meaningful use of it.
Yeah, that's very important. Like, it's important for us to learn, read books, or watch videos, or listen to podcasts. But it's important that we take at least one point, and take that into action and try to implement that. Because
Yeah,
if we
exactly.
don't do that, it would be useless to keep it in our head.
Exactly.
Yeah, it would be useless. Yeah. So Manoj, where can people get in touch with you, learn more about you, about what you do?
You can connect with me on LinkedIn and let me know you heard me on this podcast, and tell me more about what is it that you're trying to do.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Manoj, for being today with me on this episode of the SuccessGrid podcast. Very
Thank you
insightful.
so much. Thank you. Thank you.